my name is Nisha Noor and welcome to Millennium Headlines. This week's top headlines are: London van hits pedestrians in Finsbury Park. Trump lawyer says president isn't under investigation despite tweets. Iran launches missiles into eastern Syria, targets ISIS. Attack and arrogant bid of government to erase last sign of democracy. Forest fires kill 62 in Portugal. ICC champion Pakistan 2017. Hafiz hails Pakistan's spirit for India's stunner. Now the details to this week's top headlines. London van hits pedestrians in Finsbury Park.
He tragically died last night at the scene.
One person was killed and several injured when a van drove into pedestrians near Finsbury Park Mosque, North London in the early hours on Monday morning. Witnesses say a vehicle ran into worshippers near Finsbury Park Mosque. Police say one man was pronounced dead at scene. 8 people have been taken to 3 hospitals. The driver of the van has been arrested. 2 witnesses independently told CNN they saw 3 people exit the van, but police say they have not identified any other suspects. Police say Counterterrorism Command is investigating. Police say one man was pronounced dead at scene. 8 people have been taken to 3 hospitals. The driver of the van has been arrested. 2 witnesses independently told CNN they saw 3 people exit the van, but police say they have not identified any other suspects. Police say Counterterrorism Command is investigating. The Counterterrorism Command is running the investigation. The driver of the van, a 48-year-old man, was found at the scene behind, held by members of the public, and was arrested. Though witnesses have said they saw 2 people from inside the van flee the scene, police said that no other suspects have been identified so far, but noted that the investigation is ongoing. The detained suspect was taken to the hospital as a precautionary measure, but will be taken into custody once discharged, the statement said. He will not be given a mental health assessment in due course.
This morning, our country woke to news of another terrorist attack on the streets of our capital city, the second this month, and every bit as sickening as those which have come before. It was an attack that, once again, targeted the ordinary and the innocent, going about their daily lives. This time, British Muslims, as they left a mosque, having broken their fast, and prayed together at this sacred time of year. Today, we come together, as we have done before, to condemn this act and to state once again that hatred and evil of this kind will never succeed. The Government's Emergency Committee, COBRA, has just met, and I can set out what we know about what happened and the steps that we are taking to respond. Just after 20 past midnight, the Metropolitan Police received reports that a van had been driven into a crowd of people on Seven Sisters Road in Finsbury Park. Officers were in the immediate vicinity as the attack unfolded and responded within 1 minute. Police declared it a terrorist incident within 8 minutes. 1 man was pronounced dead at the scene. 8 injured were taken to 3 separate hospitals, while 2 were treated at the scene for more minor injuries. The driver of the van, a white man aged 48, was bravely detained by members of the public at the scene and then arrested by police.
This is a truly horrific terrorist attack on our city, where innocent bystanders were deliberately targeted after returning from the Taraweeh Ramadan prayers. As you know, One person died on the scene. 8 people were seriously injured, so they've gone to hospital. 3 others were treated on the pavement. My thoughts and prayers, as I'm sure the thoughts and prayers of all of London and the country, are with all those affected by the attack last night, particularly the family of the man who tragically died last night at the scene. This attack behind me on Seven Sisters, the attack in Manchester, the attack on London Bridge, the attack on Westminster Bridge, are all an attack on our shared values of tolerance and freedom and respect. And we will not allow these terrorists to succeed. These have been a terrible few weeks for London, unprecedented in recent times. We've seen the horror of the fire at Grenfell Tower. We've seen the attack on London Bridge, and before that Westminster Bridge, and we saw last night the terrorist attack here in Seven Sisters. We will stay a strong city. We will ensure that we aren't cowed by terrorism, and we will not be defeated. We are united today, and we're going to carry on being a united.
Trump lawyer says president isn't under investigation despite tweets. A representative from President Donald Trump's legal team said Trump is not under investigation despite the president's tweeting, "I am being investigated" this week. The lawyer, Jay Sekulow, contended the tweet was not a confirmation of the investigation, but instead a response to a report in the Washington Post. That tweet was in response to a Washington Post story that ran with the unnamed sources. Sekulow said in an interview that aired Sunday on CNN's State of the Union. Trump tweeted on Friday, "I'm being investigated for firing the FBI director by the man who told me to fire the FBI director. Witch hunt." The Washington Post story cited 5 officials who had been briefed on interview requests from special counsel Robert Mueller with 3 top intelligence officials to see if Trump had attempted to obstruct justice. Trump's following the report appeared to confirm the investigation, but this lawyer said only appeared that way because of the character limit on Twitter. Sekulow added that Trump is very effective with his use of social media. "There's a limitation on Twitter, as we all know," Sekulow said. The president's response was related to the Washington Post report. "We cannot, in a tweet statement, include all of that in there. That's it." Simple explanation.
The president takes action based on numerous events, including recommendations from his attorney general and the deputy attorney general's office. He takes the action that they also, by the way, recommended, and now he's being investigated by the Department of Justice because the special counsel, under the special counsel regulations, reports still to the Department of Justice, not an independent counsel. So he's being investigated for taking the action that the attorney general and deputy attorney general recommended him to take by the agency who recommended the termination. So that's the constitutional threshold.
Iran launches missiles into eastern Syria, targets ISIS. Iran's military said Sunday that it has launched several missiles into eastern Syria, targeting Islamic State fighters in retaliation of the twin attacks that rocked Tehran on June 7th. The missile strikes are the first reported ground-to-ground attack from Iran into Syria since the Arab country descended into a civil war in 2011 and represented a major escalation of Iran's role in the war in Syria. Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said on its official news website, Sifa News, that several ground-to-ground mid-range missiles were fired from bases in Kermanshah province, western Iran. The operation targeted Takfiri forces in the Deir ez-Zor region in eastern Syria. Iran's Revolutionary Guard uses the term Takfiri in describe ISIS. Attack an arrogant bid of government to erase last sign of democracy. Bangladesh Nationalist Party (BNP) chairperson Khaleda Zia on Sunday alleged that the attack on the party's Secretary General's motorcade is an arrogant bid of the government to erase the last sign of democracy in the country. In a statement issued a few hours after an attack on BNP Secretary General's motorcade, Khaleda, also former prime minister, said the attack was aimed at diverting people's attention from the government's failings to take necessary measures to protect lives in the landslide-affected areas. A motorcade of a BNP delegation led by Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir came under attack in Ichakali of Rangunia in Chittagong on Sunday, on its way to landslide-hit areas on Sunday morning. At least 5 to 7 BNP men, including Mr. Fakhrul, BNP Standing Committee member Amir Khosrow Mahmood Chowdhury, sustained injuries, according to claim of BNP leaders. Khaleda strongly condemned the heinous and cowardly attack. She said the example of Awami terrorists attacking BNP senior leaders' motorcade and assaulting them physically is an arrogant bid of the government to erase last signs of democracy. The incident is another manifestation of politics of vendetta of the current unelected government. Awami League has always resorted to hooliganism to cling in the state power. Numerous people are killed in the landslides and thousands were injured. The cry of the family members of those who were killed and injured has made arrow heavy in this area. Forest fires kill 62 in Portugal. Raging forest fires in Portugal have killed at least 62 people, many of them burned to death in their cars, the government said Sunday, in the country's worst such disaster in recent history. The fire broke out on Saturday in the municipality of Pedrógão Grande in central Portugal, apparently caused by a lightning strike, and spread furiously in several directions. Nearly 900 firefighters and 300 vehicles were still battling the blaze on Sunday afternoon as scenes of devastation could be seen around the town. Unfortunately, this seems to be the greatest tragedy we have seen in recent years in terms of forest fires, said a visibly moved Prime Minister Antonio Costa, who declared 3 days of mourning started on Sunday. The expanse of wooded hills in the area north of Lisbon, which 24 hours before had glowed bright green with eucalyptus plants and pine trees, was gutted by the flames. A thick layer of white smoke hovered over either side of the motorway for about 20 kilometers, which is also 12 miles, as blackened trees leaned listlessly over charred soil. A burnt-out car sat outside, partly destroyed in abandoned houses, while a few meters away, police in face masks surrounded the corpse of a man hidden under a white sheet. Everything burned very quickly. Police Chief Almeida Rodriguez blamed dry thunderstorms, ruling out arson and saying a tree had been struck by lightning. Police Chief Almeida Rodriguez blamed dry thunderstorms, ruling out arson and saying tree had been struck by lightning. Everything burnt very quickly given the strong winds. The flames passed within 2 to 3 kilometers of the house, said local resident Isabel Ferreira, who is 62 years old. ICC champion Pakistan 2017. Hafiz hails Pakistan's spirit of India's stunner. Mohammad Hafiz hailed Pakistan's team spirit as the key to their stunning champions' Trophy final triumph against India. Just 2 weeks ago, Pakistan was at a low ebb after crashing to a humiliating 124-run defeat against India in the group stage. But Pakistan batsman Hafiz says his teammates vowed to stick together despite the avalanche of criticism they reaped in the rewards in memorable fashion on Sunday. Gaining sweet revenge over India, Pakistan thrashed their arch rivals by 180 runs at the Oval to win the Champions Trophy for the first time. It's a great team effort. After losing the first game, we had no chance to lose again, said Hafiz, who played an important role with the classy 57 not out. We showed great team character. I am so happy for the nation of Pakistan, who have been waiting for this for a long time. After man of the match, Fakhar finished on 114. Pakistan pace bowler Mohammad Amir ripped the heart out of the Indian batting lineup with the wickets of Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan and Virat Kohli. India, looking to retain the Champions Trophy, went down without a fight as they collapsed to 158 all out, and Amir felt his spell was crucial. Rohit Dhawan and Kohli have been in tremendous form, so was I looking for early wickets, and I did, he said. Pakistan's first global 50-over title since the 1992 World Cup reflected well on their Australian coach Mickey Arthur, who kept his squad from losing focus after the dismal display against the Indians earlier in the tournament.
Oh, it's come back and flipped his front pad and back pad and fast, straight with swing, accuracy. Oh yes. Let's have a look at here. Pitch is on. Oh, you just have to give that. That's out anywhere, even in my own backyard. Oh, that's worth a shout too. That's worth a shout too. There's another one. Oh, the green team. Pakistan. 2 big wickets. Orthodox batsman plays the fast bowlers really well, but he has this issue. Straight away into the innings, he gets his head over the ball, falling over. Seen him get out quite a few times in that fashion. Let's have a look at that again. Impact now was well within the stumps, the impact. Yeah, that's out. Good decision. Big decision. Up pleading and bang, the finger goes up. Mohammad Amir. Oh, beauty. Crowd now, they're on the edge.
Thank you for watching Millennium Headlines. This has been Nisha Noor. See you next week.